So welcome to PhotonWorld 2023. It's the premier digital technology event. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Anthony Roberts, formerly Global CIO of Walgreens Boots Alliance, and a long-standing friend and associate and advisor to Photon. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the guy who's going to get this event motoring. At Photon, we just know him as Srini, but he has a big name, and he's going to give a big welcome to PhotonWorld 2023. Please put your hands together for Photon co-founder and CEO, Srinivas Balasubramanian. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, first and foremost, everyone. You can understand what Photon stands for at its core. I think it stands for great technology and great relationships, but you can see that for yourself firsthand. You meet your peers. We have people who worked with us through multiple companies, through multiple decades.
There's no tech conference today where Gen AI is not the buzzword, right? It's the hottest buzzword in the industry. Everybody's talking about it. We'll try, in some ways, to demystify it in terms of what this actually stands for, how to actually embrace it, and what it can and cannot do. We'll dive a little bit deeper about OpenAI, ChatGPT, and DALL-E, more specifically. Generative AI is obviously a large space, there are many players, but today, give or take 90% of our client implementations are actually on OpenAI. We'll talk about big data and analytics. So there's no AI without data. And finally, where does it leave it with core digital? Core digital is the foundation on which Photon was built, how we have grown, this kind of websites and mobile apps.
Right, you saw the diffusion picture that Mukund was showing, right? Garbled faces. But how do you actually still use it? You use it where you want to create a structural component, but then you populate it inside with facts which come from traditional approaches, right? That's the retrieval augmented AI component. And then quantum computing, which has a lot of potential, but we are far away from practical production grade implementations of it. But our engagement with this is more from a point of view of when it happens, we want to be ready. The attack vector is people siphon off the data today, they cannot decrypt it. But in 10 years, when quantum becomes real, they can decrypt it. It's harness and then decipher.
So I've been in the business of transformation, for sure, for all my life. And I think this is what I know how to do. The first thing you have to understand, in all those capacities that you are serving someone's. And when you are an agency, you serve your clients. When you are the brand, you serve your brands. And when you are in my position as a partner, for example, in JB, you serve your companies and your CEOs.
Thank you so much for doing this for us. It means a lot. I'm so sorry you weren't able to make it face-to-face, but I am also so thankful that you were willing to actually take live Q&A. Thank you for that.
Very interesting conversation, fireside chat that you and Mukund had. And I just wanted also to add that you're a very modest person because you've actually reached the pinnacle of a career in a private equity firm, which is not an easy thing to do in any shape or form. But then to do it, coming from a technology background, there are very, very few people who do that. And then to be a leading woman in technology as well, it's really quite inspirational. So it's great that you're able to be with us here today.
The one thing that has always been true, is true, and I believe will always be true, is that Photon had my back. Always.
What I want to talk about is the age of interactions, where we are going, and a little bit about where marketing is going next. If all of these four things come true, then what will happen as a fifth is, you think of marketing like the oxygen in this age. So it's going to be infused everywhere. You've got that quantum ecosystem the CMO has to orchestrate. I've got 11,000 vendors. If everything is working fine, nobody will even know we exist. It's all existed and embedded in.
So I'm here to talk about the future. What I feel like what the AI can do actually, is a true a digital concierge. We've been talking about this actually for a while. There's a concept of super app that everyone talk, hey, one app that can do everything. If I like what they present, I think the next changes in mobile app is about refining. It's not about scrolling anymore. Now, on all this, you can create numerous things. You can create, like I said, like your vacation, then every application compete for your attention. So in the first one, TripAdvisor might win. In the second one, Airbnb might win. On the third one, you ask for your itinerary, Expedia might win because this fits with the fact that I have a child. This fits with the fact I really normally like to go to the airport after my checkout time. So like he might win that battle, right? But every on the point, you get like what you need contextually, right? Every application compete for your attentions, all this. The front end, how it looks like, cater to you. The privacy, you control it. The context, you control it. And I think this will be like a key for the future of digital.
In the last 10 years, the amount of disruption we've seen in retail industry, in the pursuit of delivering a better consumer experience, the customer experience, how much is good enough?
The companies we work with as partners are kind of supportive of that future change, and then equally, the value prop is not just about selling a better product, it's having the right orientation. It means the organization as well.
One area is that where we are trying to use cross efficiencies, operational efficiencies, and deploy in a way that it's scalable and customizable to meet the customer needs.
You look at something like the infrastructure layer, right? It allows you to worry less about redundancy in location, right? And you can leverage zones and regions to build your product closer to your clients.
How many of you guys here have legacy core platforms that are at least 10 years old? Yes. 20 years old? 30 years old? Yes. We all have it. I've been working with Photon on a pattern that we've coined as digital decoupling, and I'm going to talk about that.
I want to talk about mindset. I'm going to talk about culture. And I will ask you to take a perspective, get out of everything you've been thinking about today and take a slightly different perspective. What outcomes are important? I call them the 4 outcomes of technology investment. So we spend money on people and on other things. What influences what? Do people influence what we spend money on? Or do the things influence the people we have?
Will hyper-personalization in healthcare lead to breakthroughs in outcome because of the new level of engagement?
When I talk about digital transformation, and I don't want to speak for everybody, I'm not talking about a thing, I'm talking about a way of doing things, right? Digital is a way or a process for how you approach problem solving in our space.
I don't think that people are going to have individual apps, or your phone is really just going to know you, and all of your experiences are going to be created around you. And how consumer health products, or any product in general, how they compete in a world like that, it's almost going to be syndication as a service.
I wouldn't call it as fully AI driven, but of course AI had a way of finding out the right patients for clinical trials. So again, without going into details, we accelerated a lot of our patient recruitment through AI driven real world evidence based data, which helped us actually kind of shrink down the trial designs and trial timelines.
My name is Jim Kim. I'm the Chief Creative at Photon. I've been with Photon for 9 years. This is...
I'm Anna Lansdowne. I'm an Executive Creative Director.
Is generative AI, as of July 20th, 2023, ready to design your websites, your mobile apps? So that's the question we're going to be looking at in some degree of depth today.
What we're going to do is we're going to turn this into an actual question. Are AI tools ready to design your website and apps? How afraid is my design team about their jobs? But in reality, does Photon need to evolve and start to introduce any kind of tools? Let's conduct research. Let's do a critical current state assessment. And let's do user testing on all of the tools out there. The results of the critical assessment was that we basically came out with a subset of tools that we deemed to be actually come up with good enough quality that we could start inserting it into our actual flow and showing a bunch of example results as we go through the step-by-step flow. We decided to have this hackathon. We decided to have 2 teams with the exact same designer types in them, broken down into Team Human and Team AI. Do you guys know which one's which? Can you tell which deliverable is AI and which one is human? So for me, the reason why I thought the top left one was AI, that face to me looks like Mid-Journey generated. If you read the content, and you guys probably can't make it out, but the key strategies here are just not what key strategies are. So I reckon it's the top one that's AI generated, and this is why. This up, down, up, down, up, down is too perfect. It's not, emotional journey is usually a little bit rougher. So here we go, Team Human, Team AI. This is the part where our tools are really starting to struggle. We're getting into really precise designer type work here, We're using pages and pages and pages of requirements.
Watching you go through this experience with your team, Team Photon, it would be interesting if you could take your clients through this experience.
Trying how we can utilize AI in each particular creative journey, depending on a whole of different other factors. Just workshops with clients in order to go through this and then to maybe workshop any solutions and yeah.
Thank you all for participating. I know you are all your times are very, very valuable. Thank you for spending the day with us.